Welcome to 1407 Great Malkin Lane. This is the living memory of the X-Men. Don't let anyone tell you different. Okay, I am here for a special review, a classic review. Uncanny X-Men 232 to 234, which is the return of the Brood. But I can't do it alone. I have to bring in my co-host. My man. We've been on Twitter. We've been rolling with each other on Twitter for a quick minute now. He's dope.
Yeah, for a while now.
Yep. My man Dave. Oh, he's on Twitter. What's your handle, bro?
Monarch Daffy.
Monarch Daffy. He's like Iceman, but cooler. Okay. All right. So this book originally came out in 1980. Was
9 or 8, I believe.
88. So
88. There we go.
All right. So, and we got to look at the publication date. It's always 2 months before. So,
Right.
So, yeah, man, this book was great. So this at this point, this is like the mid 80s. Oh, okay, this is the mid 80s. Chris Claremont he's in control of everything. This is right after Fall of the Mutants, and the X-Men are just. Let's just jump into it, man. How about, all right, start us off.
Let's get to it. So Roma had them all pretend that, well, not pretend that they're dead. They kind of died, but Roma let them live, but now they cannot be recorded, which is a key plot point in this too. Because the TV is trying to show that mutants are being heroes, but because of Roma, now they can't take credit for it, and they saved Denver, but because they can't be recorded, no one knows the mutants did it.
And it just looks like it looks like the Brood are just fighting, just like a special effect.
Air.
Yeah. I can imagine this things like this would have like hurt mutant kind in the long run, because they were like, wait, people are attacking Denver, and then you know how people like to talk and be like, hey, it was crazy. We saw like. They think Brood are mutants. I think that's the thing. I think the people don't know what the Brood are. They think they're mutants.
Yeah, especially because these Brood have nicknames. These ones have like, what was it? I had Brickbats. You have let's see, Temptress, Tension. All these crazy names,
Dive
like
Bomber.
They were superheroes or supervillains.
And these are cool names. But also remember, we gotta remember, they went after mutants specifically. So they're able to use their different powers. So they're like a Brood X-Men, and they're all Dive Bomber, the one who went after Storm. He was talking so much trash, and he knocked her out.
And then Colossus pulls what was that Marauder's name? That guy's neck snapped.
Vertigo.
No, not for what the Riptide.
Riptide.
Yes, because Colossus snaps the neck of him just like he does to Riptide, right in front of everyone too. Which again, if you don't know who the mutants are and you see the Brood, you just think it's the evil mutants and good mutants, but then they're just killing each other still. Yeah. Like that. He in the 80s, he was just snapping people's necks left and right.
It was always off panel too. It's like, for a guy who has a problem that everybody had a problem with killing. No one's talking to Colossus about when he's giving everybody the popping everybody's top.
Yeah, it's like a Sprite bottle. He just popped it right off.
Hey, he turned up, just cracked it. I love the cold open though. It's it's the opening of a slasher movie.
It's just like Aliens. You don't know what's happening, and you just go, "Oh, there's a shark in the desert."
Right, and you see these. It lands, and the three people. Like, I thought it was kind of weird that the black girl was the one who said, like, "Oh, let's go check it out." When in real life, the black person's like, "Yeah, we should she would have been like the black dude's like, "Yo, let's call the feds. Let's call the Avengers. Let's get out of here." Because
it's called SeaWorld. What is a shark doing in the middle of the Denver desert? Like, and Denver doesn't have that many deserts to begin with. That was so weird too. It's like, could have been Nevada or somewhere else, but no, it's in Denver in the middle of a desert. Okay.
hey, Claremont, okay? He
Yeah.
like remember he wanted to he was writing comics while trying to be a TV writer. So
Well, you
this
could tell.
yeah,
Inferno is basically Ghostbusters with the X-Men.
yeah, Ghostbusters, Freak Show, anything that Stephen King would have going on at the time.
In fact, this is a very heavy issue that starts building into Inferno with Sim and Maddie.
Oh, oh, I have a whole new theory after reading this regarding her like because where did I put it? Maddie, like she was a plant. All right.
Yeah.
Her whole thing was the whole thing with Sinister. I think that was planned from the jump because why would she feel inferior to some woman she doesn't even know? Why did she slap Cyclops when he asked her, "Have you ever been? Are you an alien? Are you an alien masquerading?"
Yeah.
Like,
And in her own dreams, it's like she already knows that she is a clone, not the original, because she's walking around like a what do you call like a mannequin from from a store, and
yeah,
she's just melting like a wax mannequin, and it's so creepy thanks to Silvestri.
yeah. All right. Here's my theory. Because she just kind of went into magic out of nowhere. We didn't
Yeah.
even know where the magic came from. I think this was Mother Righteous. You can go back and say Mother Righteous was kind of guiding her, but not really. She would
Yeah.
like she wanted like Inferno was not Sinister's fault. It was Mother Righteous, and she was just kind of like messing around.
Well, again, she needs someone to worship her and to thank her, right?
Exactly, and that was
And
another
Sim gives her the opportunities with the fingers. With the
boom.
fingers, she's all those different opportunities to pick her choice, and she chooses vengeance.
Exactly. And it goes right back with Banshee being her spirit of vengeance.
Yeah.
It all comes back. That's my pitch. Mother Righteous the was kind of behind Inferno, like because she's a Sinister.
Well, yeah, think about it. Yeah, she's Sinister's ex-wife or dead wife, or how there's
Yeah,
a new revelations from it.
right.
But
Rebecca,
you know what I
like
mean? Like it's just she has the whole part of the worship, and she deals with the magic, and she's granting you what you want. She had the opportunity again. She had the opportunities. Choose. You could have a happy life. You could have this. You could have that. We could get rid of Jean. We could do this.
yeah,
But no, she wants vengeance upon her child, her
yep,
husband,
yep.
her
Yeah,
genetic
she wants
donator.
everybody. She's like,
Yeah, it's like
everybody gotta go.
and
Everybody.
something's up with Gateway too, because he's guarding her and he's watching her
Okay,
and he's guiding her and he guides her to he guides her to the bad guy.
I think Gateway knew. I think he was onto her the entire time, but he couldn't do anything about it.
Well, think about it. He worked with the Reavers and we still never really know why. And it's like he allows bad things. Like, think about it. When he died during what was it? Second Coming. Remember when Hope came around? They were
Yeah,
killing off all the teleporters. You
yeah,
can't tell me he didn't have dreams or visions about what was going to happen to himself.
that's true.
Like he
Yeah, but
knows because of the
Gateway's hard to kill though. Gateway's really hard. Like first, Gateway's hard to kill, and two, Gateway's hard to get a hold of if he doesn't want to be found.
And
Like,
he knows X, Y, and Z has to happen because Gateway disappears for years after that. But
yeah,
somehow he guides Manifold, he guides M, which was really the twins. He's always having his hands in all these. Think about it, all these people have issues with demonic type weird things that are going on in their lives, and
okay,
people coming after them. And even though he might guide them towards trouble, it's the trouble. It's like destiny, but a good destiny. Like he
right,
knows what's going to happen,
okay,
but he's guiding you towards like, yeah, it's going to suck for now, but this path will lead you to your righteous area where you need to be. What's going to take you to where you're at from point A to point B.
okay. I see that. Oh my god, I even like it. Totally makes sense. Actually, I was thinking that maybe Gateway is like Manifold from the future. He just came back into the past, and he's just like, I don't. I know that it's totally.
It's always a possibility because with the X-Men, whenever you think you understand something or know their history,
They flip.
forget about it. Here's the new history. Here's what's going on. Especially
Here's the history
all
beyond under the history. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. No, but all right. So, in the book, we the Brood they attack everybody. Everybody's dead. except for that one, except for Harry,
The
he's
ambulance
like,
driver.
he was just he was out, and you thought, oh, he's like, okay, I'm safe, and then we just cut to the next panel. Yeah, he's been taken over. He's been totally taken.
Or even worse for Wolverine, he goes into these berserker rages,
Yeah.
and then they find him slaughtering all these cops. And you see Wolverine on top of a bunch of dead cops going, well, I had to kill him.
And everyone's like, bro, calm down. He's like, no, I had to do it. And I like, and everybody else is like, only Storm, Wolverine and Colossus have dealt with these guys before. We don't
Yeah.
know what to expect.
In fact, this was my real first experience with the Brood. I didn't get to read the older issues till later. This is my first thing. I'm going, who are these people? What are they with their weird arms and these talons that they're just stabbing people with? Like, what is happening here? Like, and the whole bus and everyone else, everyone's a bad person, and you're thinking, oh God, he's gonna kill a whole bus full of people, and then all of a sudden you get to the alley. Oh no, that was a trap.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that Captain Marvel scene, in the movie where she's on the bus and everyone's staring, going, why are you punching that old lady? Wolverine attacking the bus, and you're going, what is he doing?
Oh, like the way I saw it is like Wolverine, like he looked like, he's around a bunch of dead cops, and the rest of the X-Men are like, what the fuck are you doing? You can't be killing cops. And then all the cops just show up, and they are, it's like, oh, this is bad. And then you find out, like, oh no, they're all Brood. This is worse. This is no, like the Brood. Like I was reading this, and I kept on thinking, this could be a movie. This would be so much. This would be so much fun. This would be so much fun. Like, you don't like, and the Brood are more interesting than the Xenomorphs, because they take over the person's body and they use their powers. So
and
like,
they still retain their memories and everything else, so they can look human for a little bit, have you come in closer, let your guard down, and the second that you're feeling comfortable, oh, here goes an embryo.
Boom. It's weird how like they just have to like get you with their tail. Like, it's very phallic. If you like, very Chris Claremont. He likes to do stuff like that. Also, Claremont has the laziest slurs ever. Muties, sleazoids. I'm like,
I still like sleazoids, but yeah, it's just like, well, what would the kids say? What would a kid call some sort of creepy bug monster? Oh, they're kind of sleazy.
No, or a monster. If they hear like these things, like, no, those are monsters.
I just be screaming, giant cockroaches, run.
Oh, you know what? That's probably better. We get like, also I like how with the Brood they have the massive overbite with it.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh.
Well, Silvestri, he probably draws my favorite rendition of the Broods, because they look overpowering and just kind of disturbing. Right. Because when you see them half the time, they're half human, half Brood. Then they're the Brood, but then they're human again, and you're going, what is these things? Like, what are they doing? Like, I don't understand.
Kind of shift. They kind of shift back and forth. And then we cut to the church bit. We meet Reverend Bill and Hannah. Like,
the Conovers.
I swear, it looked like Hannah was trying to, like, Bill was just like in the cut, just kind of like taking everything,
looking at the stars, taking things in deeply. Yeah,
and it looked like Hannah was trying to. She looked like she was trying to smash. Like, it's just like he's like, no, I can pour my own coffee. He's like, no, it's a pleasure. I'm like, Bill, watch it. All right, like, this desert sun, it does things to women, man. Be careful.
Well, the weird thing is too is remember she has arthritis.
Yes.
And at the very end, he thinks he prayed away Wolverine's condition, right? He doesn't know that Wolverine can heal himself. And then his wife no longer has the arthritis, and no one thinks about that, and it never gets touched upon again. Like, there should be a whole Brood community in Denver somewhere by the Red Rock Amphitheater holding church sermons, recruiting more people to the Brood.
Oh my! That would be hilarious. I would love to see that. This what is with the desert? Apparently, like all the regular people are just smashed. Like, okay, Harry and his partner Josie. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, smashed. He totally smashed. Like
Yeah.
it seemed like after Harry got with the Brood, he was just like affecting the entire police department.
Yeah, it's like, hey, let's go see our buddies real quick. Hey, how you doing?
Like it. Oh, you know what? It was like that. It was like the reverse of that cop in Tennessee who got caught banging her entire department.
Oh God, yes, yes. I know you talk about that little white girl.
That
Yes.
was like no, adjust that for the Brood. Not making fun of the girl. It's just the situation. It's very
Yes,
similar.
I know. Hey, Captain, come here real quick. I got to
Right? Yeah.
impregnate
Right.
you.
So that's so wrong. Okay. So I also have like seen like what like they get camera crews and they film the all the fights with the Brood and the X-Men, but
Yeah, I'm like
because like you said,
233, I believe. Yeah.
yeah, Roma made them like they have that camouflage, and it just looks like the Brood or mutants are attacking. And then you get Reverend Bill at the end saying, "Mutants aren't that bad." Like it's a mixed signal. It looks funny.
Yes, yeah. He's just, especially because he's just looking out the night sky talking about that. You're going, but they just killed a whole bunch of people. Oh, they get a bad rep.
The police force, like a good portion of the police force is dead.
Yeah. A bus is destroyed. Downtown Denver is in flames.
Children. What about the children? What
They're
about
good
the
people. They're good people.
no? No, dive bomber. He helps out with the kids.
Yeah.
He eats them. Okay, we got. All right, so all right, so Harry, at one point he tries to get Storm. He says, "Oh, we're gonna make." They make this whole thing. It's like, "Oh, we're gonna make Storm the host for the Brood Queen." I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, no, no." It would have been funny just to make Storm like a drone, because that'd be a huge flex. No, just imagine, like she's an Omega mutant, and then like, no, you're just like everybody else.
No, but Claremont always had it didn't matter what character it was, whether it was Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Callisto, Yukio, everyone wants to get with Storm. No matter what arc he's writing, people think it's Jean and everything else. No, for him, it's always Storm. She's the centerpiece. He's like, that's the real one.
Yeah, and like, I get it, but also something I've noticed with Storm under Chris Claremont, she falls for weak game. Like any any regular guy could just talk to her. I'm like, first
but
of
they
all,
say opposites attract, right? Think about it. She was worshipped in Kenya.
Yeah.
So they thought of her as a goddess.
Yeah.
And then she goes for, instead of like Wolverine, Nightcrawler, someone else, she goes for people like Forge, who's, very creative mutation.
Yeah.
Very powerful mutant in his own right.
True.
But when you look at all the options she has, she's going for the guy that has the prosthetics. He kind of just likes wearing around in his, well, like, you know what? Maybe it's the outfits. It's got to be the outfits for Ford. He always likes, he's got those like the little tight short shorts.
Right.
Nice.
And
He's got the walking cane, everything. Yeah, he always.
An attachable hand. Now, like you said, he's a very creative mutant. Like, I know this is gross, but I always thought Forge would make a killing in the sex toy market. Just like he just take off his hand, put on something. He's his own Serbian. It's weird.
Never thought of I'd rather think that.
Right. It's it's a deep or it's a dark abyss.
But you're right though. She always goes for guys. You go, he's not the most powerful. He's not the, whether it's powerful with money or actual power or mutations, whatever. She always goes for like the non-assuming guy. But even right now in X-Men Red with NASA Craig.
Oh, all right. But here's the thing. I still say Forge is probably the best relationship because he's the one who dumped her. She's never had been dumped. Never been dumped.
Although he always to this day still regrets it because he's always just like, what was I thinking?
No, he should not regret it. He should not. No, he went out. He said, "Will you marry me?" She hesitated. He said, "Bye." I'm like, you know what? I respect it. That's it. He cold, but I get it.
That's true. Yeah, because you know what? If someone gives you a pause, you're going, well, this isn't going to work.
Right.
You can't do
He's
this.
like, you should not that second. You should not have a second to think about the question. It should be automatic.
Yeah, like yes or
Right. Even if you don't know.
She's like, I guess we have been dating, but I never really thought that we were dating.
He's like, bitch, out, I'm out. No, and then he got with Mystique, which is hilarious. No, but like with
I actually liked them together.
They were great together, and I like the fact that Miss Sabretooth was there. He knew everything they were doing. He was just getting more jealous. He was like, that's still my girl, right? He's like, what are you talking?
We're still fighting our son. Our whole team is fighting our son right now. Why are you even bothering with him?
Oh, like Storm is great, but she falls for weak game. Like remember Slipstream? The Australian surfer, and then
the lifeguard's brother,
right? Yeah, and then Black Panther, who
that was just more putting the top two black characters from Marvel together, going, okay, we got to recreate this to make it make sense now.
But to me though, it just looked like Storm left the X-Men to help depowered African mutants adjust to the new world. She did it for 2 weeks. I'm sorry. Storm fans are going to hate us. No, they're going to hate me. They're going to hate me.
But so you know what I'm still confused from watching this thing is, okay, so not from watching, but from reading this, Rogue, she touches the Brood and she gets infected, right?
Right.
But somehow her being in mental command or connection with Psylocke infects Psylocke. Like, how does that even make sense?
Well, I think because with the Brood, they're all telepathically connected, and they have such a strong
a hive mind, like insects,
right? And so with Betsy, I think if she was hip to it, she could have blocked it. But it's kind of like, I kind of look like, if this was a movie, I would say like this would be the part like where they got her in the the death scene with Psylocke, but it'd be telepathic. That's how they got her. Like,
okay, because I was reading, I'm still going like, all right, it makes it more interesting because now you got the Brood with two of the strongest X-Men together.
Yeah,
because everyone forgets though, like Psylocke during this era, to me, this is still the best Psylocke because she's got that body armor on. Her telepathy is kind of, it reminds me of Cable. Okay, Cable has all these abilities, but the vast majority of the time, it's not his powers. It's his guns. It's his fighting ability, and that's how Psylocke was during this era. Psylocke she used it. It was more like, think about it like she was basically a walkie-talkie for the team.
Yeah,
just keeping them all mentally linked. But that was basically like the extent of a lot of her abilities. The most of the time, it's her just taking people. Like, think about when she fought Sabretooth.
Yeah.
That was legit just her physical hand to hand, like, okay, my armor can take it.
She got hands though. Like she's fought Sabretooth like a couple of times. The second time, she only got beaten because she got distracted for like 1 second. But really,
also the glow, because of what Wolverine did, screwed up what her abilities were able to do. See, if you don't know that your abilities no longer work and you're coming into a fight thinking, okay, I got this, I can use this as a last resort, and all of a sudden you go to use it and you're like, wait, what just happened?
See, I feel like all of Psylocke's like big fights would be amazing because like there's always a part where it gets really scary where he's like, because like you said in X-Men 328 where when she goes after Sabretooth and he's like, ever since the rut popped my claw on my skull, the glow don't hurt no more. That is terrifying.
Because also at that point you thought you used up what you needed to do, and now you're up close and personal. Instead of having that distance where you can control the fight, now you're in his comfort zone.
Yep.
And that just don't work.
Oh, Psylocke is a beast. Betsy Braddock has always been a beast, and I wish Marvel now would remember it.
Because they don't even like, I get it, she's no longer in Kwanan's body, but you know what though? she never needed that body to begin with, because if you read like the old issues of Uncanny, read the old issues of Captain Britain.
Yep.
She did all these, she was a spy, did all these different things all on her own without needing to have another. The body didn't help it. It was just that she was more confident.
Really. Yeah, I would think it gave her more. I think it just enhanced it, because like now, because when she was in the Asian body, she had all the knowledge and training from that Quanon had. So like he was able. So she went from like James Bond to ninja.
Exactly. So she's James Bond, and now she's a hand ninja, because that's because Quanon was part of the hand. That means you have all those. That's a death cult that worships and does all these effed up things, and you're just going, okay, you're putting 2 and 2 together, so you can add the spy. That's the biggest thing. You're adding someone that was a spy with those abilities, and ninjas are already supposed to blend in the background. So you have 2 different ways of thinking about how to attack someone in a quiet, sneaky manner.
Boom. You see, you already know. Like you already like. I love Betsy. Like she's so. Like, all right, I feel bad that her series ended, but like it seems like they try to make her being a lesbian her whole character. She's like, like I'm LGBT. All right, cool, that's cool. What about her else? LGBT.
The only thing I didn't like was like they she had the strike unit, right? So like all the Brits that came back, she had all of them heat wisdom at her disposal. But the whole time it's just like, well, it's just me, Betsy, and all my versions of myself.
Right.
We'll deal with this. And that's never who Betsy's been. She's always know how to utilize people correctly. And again, in these Outback issues that we were reading, she's connected to everyone at the whole time. And she's giving them like, okay, go this way. I'll head over this. You 2 make the most sense going this way. All of a sudden now she forgets how to be a strategist.
Yeah.
How do you don't forget how to be a strategist?
Yeah, no, it's like people like I think a lot of the writers they've forgotten that Psylocke has been a leader before. She's been like, I mean, yes, she's mostly used as a blunt object. Like, all right, whatever. But I don't know. I wish there could have been a bit more.
She's always made the hard decisions though. Think about it. In Uncanny X-Force, when she needed to kill Warren.
Yeah,
she didn't hesitate.
No, she
felt bad about it.
Yeah,
but the first opportunity she had to kill him, that was it. Game over. And this, they have her kind of like, oh well, I gotta tiptoe around Rachel, and Rachel has never been that person either. Rachel,
no,
she's always been very
about
like,
she's about that life.
Yeah, like she would be like, point me in the direction you need me to go at, and Rachel would just go and do it. I mean, she did that through all of Excalibur and in Uncanny when she was on the team before going to Excalibur. People forget that these stories do exist.
I mean, actually, I always thought it'd be more interesting instead of Jean Grey being on X-Force, it was Rachel, because like we can see like them kind of like, I don't know, just like we see how the Hound program was developed from the mutant standpoint, like because like. Remember the Hounds in the Hound program in House of X, Powers of X. That happened. So Rachel must be part of that, I guess. I don't know. It's great. No. There's so much they can do with this. Like that's
exactly.
But this book is just so much fun. Like the 3rd book is just basically them just fighting. Like everybody's just fighting, and it just
that's where all the carnage and mayhem happens.
Right. So, that one guy, like, oh, they cut the cord. We can't.
There it is. Yeah, I have about to say I have mine over here. I have to go figure out which page I had it on there.
Right. Just this book is just fun. Like I'm really surprised that they haven't done anything like this. Like. I understand like the whole thing with Alien, and that's kind of Claremont's fault. He likes to, if you read his books, you can tell what he's watching.
Yeah, I was about to say, what TV shows he was into? Like he was watching Dynasty a lot. He was watching all the major pop movies.
Yep.
He would steal something and make it work for the X-Men universe. That's why the X-Men are such like an interesting group of characters. Because you can throw them into any situation, whether it's space, the Savage Land. And honestly, out of all the Marvel characters, the only ones that feel like at home and normal besides Kazar is the X-Men. They make sense in the Savage Land.
They do.
No one else makes sense. When the Avengers go there, you're going, oh, they're going to screw up the mutates. They're going to screw up the power structure. The X-Men, they know, like, hey, you guys got a weird thing going on here, but we're just going to help out our friends. And, you guys figure it out yourselves. If you need help, give us a call.
And I really like how with the Savage Land, it always feels like they don't want to be there. Like, I don't want to go to the Savage Land. Every time.
Well, they always talk about like, oh man, you smell like ass. You're just stuck there for days. No deodorant. Everyone is. I mean, could you imagine a bunch of people in skin tight outfits running around in that heat and humidity? Like, you would even want to be around your teammate. You'd just be like, oh, go swim in the river over there. Like, you're foul. You smell like a dead raptor.
And imagine Wolverine like 2 weeks with no alcohol. He starts getting the shakes.
No, somehow he would find someone in the Savage Land that's already been fermenting their own stuff, going, hey, you got some Savage Land wine? I know you got some whiskey.
Like, I need to get drunk. Like, I will free base barley, whatever you need.
And they're up to something in the Savage Land anyways, because years ago when Colossus impregnated Narelle, it wasn't just Colossus with one girl. It was two of them taking him back, and Wolverine's just smoking a stogie, going, Pete, do you understand what you're about to go do? And he's like, yeah, da Torvaris. Yeah, I go do. It's like, oh, okay.
See,
okay.
and that is why I think Colossus is like, Colossus is just the man. Like, he does, like, he's that guy who doesn't press on anybody, but he always gets women. Like, all right, he was with Kitty, but I'm pretty sure he and Betsy hooked up a few times back in Australia, because he was painting her.
I was about to say, he was painting her naked a lot. Yeah. Like, out of all of the women, it was always Betsy, excuse me. It was always Betsy that he was always painting.
Yep.
He could have been painting Rogue. He could have been painting Dazzler.
He did make out.
No, she's always naked.
He did make out with Rogue that one time, though. Yeah, but like, something that we never really thought about, like, what if he touched her in his metal form? Oh, snap. It does work. No, Colossus is, I feel like people don't know how to write Colossus because because like they don't know how to write a Russian character. Like,
and also they kind of get stuck on him being a wrecking ball. They just see him as like this tow truck, or like this dump truck or whatever that's come smashing through a fucking building, going, okay, yeah, that's what he does. It's like, well, no, you guys forget that he's the paint, he's a big strong dude, right?
Yeah.
And he also can paint really well. Yep. You think people don't appreciate that? Like, he's big and muscular, and he's an artist, and he's a tortured artist too. Yeah. Oh, I lost my family, my sister.
I am Russian. My name is Rasputin. Like even Imhoff said, like, you know what? Yeah, those big guys with the jaw, and like, he's gorgeous. I'm like, God damn.
I always kind of, in my head, I pictured if we could have had the X-Men later, Dolph Lundgren would have made a perfect Colossus.
You know what? I wouldn't. I've never been dissatisfied with any Colossus portrayal we've had, like in the movie.
No, I mean, the Deadpool one's funny. The one from X-Men 2 was great. He looked the part.
He carried a whole TV with one hand. I'm like, that is some Pete shit. That is something Pete would do. And he'd be like, and just how Bobby got to me, like, hey Pete, have you seen Rogue? He's like, no, man, I haven't even seen her. My man. But
you got that Longshot running around, like, causing, things to change, flippy switch and everything else.
He kind of
we're going to get crushed by this car door. Hold on a second. Sprinkle some luck. All right, we're good, man. Don't worry about that. It's going to go that way.
But like, Longshot in this, it seems like he's just kind of like, he's used very little. And,
he's just damage control. He helps move the crowd around. Like, he's like, like My Hero Academia, where they teach students how to, like, okay, some of you are fighters, and some of you are going to help move the crowd out of the way, make sure people don't get injured. He's running around with his satchel going, okay, let's get you over here. I'm going to use my powers, make sure nothing happens to us over here. And meanwhile, you got Dazzler and Havoc just blowing people up. I mean, they're just, Havoc does make a point of going, like, I really feel bad because if I kill him, he was a person, but everyone's like, no. They're dead already. The second they got infected, they're not us.
Like,
they're dead.
Alex,
And he's still, he's having these mixed thoughts, but he's still blasting people. Just like a couple issues later, he thinks he kills Storm, and then Storm gets turned into a child. That still doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, by the way. She gets found by one of the nannies.
Yeah,
I know. She gets found by one of the nannies, gets turned into a child. But Havoc, he's always, this is the Havoc that I miss, because he has quandaries about what he's gonna do and what he's capable of. But then he's just still like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna kill him. Screw it. I'm gonna blow him up real quick.
I like Havoc after Onslaught, when he started the Brotherhood, but it was
the Brotherhood, yes,
Dark Beast, and I thought, like, you know what? That's brilliant. That's like, because
if you're gonna have him turn tail, or turn heel like that, that is a direction that makes sense.
Yeah,
because they're not gonna let Cyclops do it. That's the funny thing is they're not gonna let Cyclops do it for long anyways. We had that era with Bendis where he was the bad guy. I didn't think he was a bad guy.
He wasn't the Avengers with the bad guys, but nobody wants to talk about that.
I still swear to that to this day, because let's see here. They made the world into a utopia. Right. They gave away free energy. Right. Turned all these places that were into droughts and just dying. Now it's flush and full of life. We got to stop them. They're getting rid of fossil fuels, and now people aren't dying from famine and starvation and all these other horrible things. That's a real bad guy.
Go kill them all. Shoot them in the face. With Havoc though, like when he took over the Brotherhood. Yeah, it was to watch Dark Beast, and you kind of but when you saw him, Fatal, and Dark Beast together, you were like, I thought of it kind of like I'm a wrestling fan, so I was like, oh my god, this is a stable. This is the new team.
And I forget that psychic mutant he had with his brains that were like, it was a brain, but his skull was the brain. The outside. Right. I forget the guy's name now, but that was a creepy looking little crew. And it was like. It wasn't just that they were the Brotherhood. It was like the Morlock Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Because Dark Beast created half of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, G Nation. Yeah.
It was because they're all his children. Yeah. His genetic experiments that kept going.
And now I'm looking at this. I'm looking at these three. I'm thinking like, oh my god, Dark Beast, Paul Heyman. Dark Beast is Paul Heyman. Oh my god, it makes sense. He knows how he don't care. He don't
no.
And then later on, you find out he had a telepath. Ever, I love Ever.
Yeah, Ever. That's the guy's name I was trying to think of.
Yeah, I love Ever. I wish we would have brought just. Oh man, it was so good, man. Just. The team that they were getting up to 149 of X Factor, it looked like they were getting a team together, and then they canceled. But with Archer and Fix and Greystone. Yes.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Fix. I love that group. His daughter, or grandkid or something, because look at how Fix's powers work.
The little psychic butterflies that fly around.
Pixie. Little pixies. Just saying.
Well, Pixie for years we just thought Pixie was just some some Welsh mutants. Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then ultimately find out actually you're part of the Mastermind clan.
Exactly, and that reinforces why I think Fix maybe
descendant of hers.
Yeah, because telepathic power, but it's kind of whimsical. It can that in Archer, I don't know, but
I loved his design. Just that helmet that he wore. I thought that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. They had some great designs, and then Shard. We were getting a Shard to light the photon Shard. We had all these XSE, and if I've talked about them all the time. The XSE. I'm like, this is so cool because you're getting not just Bishop and Malcolm and Randall. But you're getting to see other people, other abilities, other backgrounds and cultures besides what we were given. You're going, whoa, this is a very dynamic and and just interesting looking group.
Oh, absolutely. Also, Greystone, I don't know, like, because I have this working theory that most powers, you can always tell where the family comes from. Like
Yeah.
Cyclops family, they're telepathic and telekinetics of a high order, but they always have the eye thing. Cable has that
Yeah.
scar, like it always comes out of his eye. Rachel has that phoenix thing over her eye. It's a thing. It's an homage to their
Even Adam X, when he lights up, when he starts using his blood burning powers, his
boom.
eyes start going all nutsy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that's what. So with Greystone, I think with his power, he could be related to Gentle or Strong Guy.
You know what I was thinking, though? This is going to sound strange, but Tower from the Alliance of Evil.
Ooh, yeah.
Because it's supposed to be, what, 80 years in the future? You can't
Yeah.
tell me that somewhere down the line, he got a girl that was not the same as him, and then the bloodlines kept getting a little bit different, but the way that he powers up remind me of him.
Yeah. Like, and plus he's Maori, the Maori, like I want to say Tongan. Like he's a Pacific Islander. Greystone is a Pacific
Yeah.
Islander. Like that, because like all the tribal tattoos and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, and I wish with all those characters, like Bishop and Rachel are basically from the same timeline, just from like a couple years apart. Like,
Yeah.
like just merge that, because it doesn't make any sense otherwise.
And honestly, like, I don't think we've had, oh, no, I was about to say we haven't, but yes, we have. We've had Claremont wrote them together on teams a couple of times.
Right.
And only Claremont has put that, that little shred that connects the both of them, because he had that killer cross of the team with Sage, Cannonball, Bishop,
Yep.
Rachel, Kurt, Storm, Wolverine, Cannonball.
That was a stack.
That was a powerful team. That was, people don't talk about that much. When you look at that roster, it was very, in Sage, that was a very diverse group of just men, women, power sets, leadership abilities, and all. I mean, honestly, everyone on that team had been a leader.
Yeah.
But I think besides Rachel, really.
Yeah. And even from the beginning, all right, even from the first issue, it played like a action movie. Like,
yeah.
All right. I remember it came out like 2001. It instantly made me think of Mission Impossible 2, that just came out a few months ago, or the previous.
I could see that.
So I'm like, oh, like, because like they were in Spain just with fast cars, and then like, I swear the X-Men movie can work with any genre. Like
they can't. It's the funny thing is, like, Mark Millar gets all this credit for doing like comic books that are meant for like cinema.
Yeah.
He's like, like you can see like Mark Millar's comics, they're not meant to be like, like a deep thinking one. Claremont does the deep thinking with the big action panels where you're watching going, ooh, okay, it's got the stuff that reels you in, but then it's got the personal stuff that keeps you entertained and keeps you going, well, I need to find out what's going on with this, or why is this happening? The only problem is Claremont has so many running, spinning wheels, he forgets them, and then no one else picks up on him after he's done.
No. It's not that he doesn't forget them. It's not that he forgets them. He's like, okay, all right, we're gonna bring up Storm and Yuriko were a couple. Okay, now she's gonna leave, and now I'm gonna bring it up for like 40 issues, and then we're gonna bring Ogun and find out that Ogun possessed Yuriko at the time, and like, Jesus, really? Stop watching Days of Our Lives, Chris. We know what you're doing. Stop.
So that's the whole. I've always told people that the X-Men, and just superheroes in general, but specifically the X-Men, are soap operas with superpowers.
Absolutely.
Because realistically, with the X-Men compared to like the Avengers or other groups, you are more invested in their personal lives and who's sleeping with who, and who's got a beef with this person, and what relative that you didn't know of, or what twin brother that you didn't know of, or twin sister that you didn't know of, that has now come out of nowhere to just destroy everything and ruin everything for everyone.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, all right, when I talked to Lobdell, and I doing my research for my Lobdell interview, I was reading his stuff, and the way Lobdell wrote he wrote it like it was a TV show and the event was the movie. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, because like he get all the character stuff with like the TV show. You had the build up. You like for Phalanx Covenant. You
That's what I'm
saw
about to say. Yeah,
a
because
couple
that's a
people.
huge movie type of thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Banshee. That whole thing. That was straight out of that felt straight out of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
No, it really was, because you're trying to figure out, like, you don't talk like that, or you're supposed to be over there, or you're supposed to be in Alaska on a honeymoon. What
Right.
are you doing calling me from your island? You're supposed to be in Alaska.
Right. Or or remember the part where Banshee got he picked up the phone when Scott and Jean he's like, hey, what's going on? He's like, oh yeah, uh the honeymoons was cool when they just got back for the future. They were kind of freaked.
Yeah. And I just finished reading that not too long ago. So yeah, they were completely traumatized, needed a honeymoon. They needed a vacation from the honeymoon to get over what happened traumatically over there.
Like, can you imagine how long like Rachel took them out of their bodies? Imagine like put them in the future and then put them back. Can you imagine? He's like, where are we? We were gone 5 minutes. We were
Not even that. They passed out in the ocean. They passed out in the ocean. They should have drowned.
Oh, right.
There was no one around them. They fainted.
I think Rachel was watching them. I think Rachel was taking care of them. Like
her Sanctity.
Yeah.
One of the ones that she has, one of her agents.
I thought Sanctity was Rachel, just older.
No, she's Mother Uncanny.
Right. It's like
Sanctity's one of her agents, and she's got another one that I can't think of at the moment, because I just reread these not too long ago.
Blacksmith?
No, Blacksmith he is part of that religion and philosophy, but no, they had another woman from the group. They have another one of the Ascanis that help watch them, but they've had so many different weird ones. But yeah, she left her parents, la 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 la. This is a great ocean, and oh, let's pass out right here. They're face down in shallow water.
So, okay, all right. With Rachel and the Ascani, okay, I really think this would be a really great time for us to see like a kid blacksmith. Like he's like 11, and he looks up to Rachel, and we see that, and we start to see like. Because with Blacksmith, he always said like Mother Ascani, she was always the coolest. She was the best at everything. I'm like, you know what? We could really make this like a dunk and egg situation from Game of Thrones. Like,
yeah,
like the hero and the sidekick, and I don't know, that just be cool. Like
that's the only thing that bugs me about like the current Captain Britain series is she is this ultimate badass that staved off Apocalypse for all these years. And think about how weird it is for them too. She knows that he's doing all this horrible stuff because it has to happen in order for the timeline to go the way it needs to go. And so even though like I think he forgets sometimes why he's doing it, and then having her pop back up going, come on, and Sabanur, you're being a little bit crazy right now. You can't do that. like I got to be your conscience.
See, that was my issue with Cable, because like I thought like when Gary Dugan wrote Cable a couple years back, it looked like I was like, okay, we're getting young Cable. He's about like 17, 18 years old.
That's what I was thinking.
Cool. This week, and I was thinking, okay, all right, he's gonna get like he's like, okay, I gotta get Strife. And I thought the end of the series was gonna result in Cable having to go into the future to close that loop, because Doctor Who helped explains Cable. No, yeah, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who helped explain to me. I think Doctor Who helped explain Cable a lot better.
Doctor Who, Cable.
Actually, you know what I'd say Cable's more like? He's not like the Doctor. He's River Song.
Yes,
River Song has that whole book of her life, and spoiler, sweetie. She knows what's going to happen, and she knows she has to do so many effed up things. And look like, think about it, Cable, he let himself look like the bad guy for the first 15 years of his life, in our life in real world time. Yeah. For those first 15 years, he just kind of looked like again, I'm stealing from movies, but a psycho Terminator.
Yeah,
he shows up going, Magneto sucks, Xavier sucks, you're coming with me.
Right. Yeah, he took. Okay, when Cable came over and took over the New Mutants, I always saw it like it's like when your kid dates an older dude, but you can't really tell him anything because you're not really there. You can't really say anything.
Yeah.
But they're like,
Yeah, it's
like
and
40.
the weird thing is for
like
Cable, though,
19.
again, because of everything of him crisscrossing all over the time stream, it's like they were his students were his mentors.
Right, right.
That is so messed up. Like they created their own infinite loop where it has to happen because in order for them to teach him how to be himself, he has to go be the old man, grumpy as all hell, going over there going, okay, I got to have this team of mercenaries, even though I know Kane's going to go nuts. He's going to join he's going to, put a bunch of my friends in concentration camps. He's going to kill a bunch of people. Eventually he will learn the errors of his way and get better, but then he'll get bad again, but then he'll get good again. And you're going, what the, like, that's why I say he's like River's Song. When you look at Cable, he's River's Song. It's like, think about it. Like what was it? The last episode she was in, the Husbands of River's Song, where she goes, well, which generation are you? And she's flipping through her pages going, well, have we done this yet? What about this?
Wait, we did no, we ain't talking about that. Oh man, Cable is awesome. Cable.
A lot of people hate him. I love Cable.
I don't understand why people would hate him. He's so easy to talk. Like, just think, okay, he started here. He then went here, and then he had to go here, and then he had to
Not just that, but now they've have him as being important for 2099.
Right.
So the generation after the Krakoan ages and everything else, when everything's done, he goes to the future to save what's left of mutant kind, and then he leads them to a brand new salvation. That's what's going on in the 2099 books. The mutants have another paradise going on. So he keeps trying to guide them back to paradise, going, okay, didn't work the last time. It's going to work this time. Okay.
Moses? Are they trying to make him Moses again?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Because it's Steve Orlando. Steve Orlando, he's basically like, you had David Papoose. He did a couple of stories for the Savage Avengers. But realistically, it's been Steve Orlando has been guiding the 2099 storylines. And so now he's got, all the classic X-Men 2099 characters with Cable as a leader. That's why they dropped off Cerebra and others in the past, because she's a living basic, storage unit. Hey, let's get rid of Sinister. We got her. It's like, sometimes it's like, I think he looks at the X-Men going, God, you guys are stupid. He goes, what do you think I'm doing? I'm dropping you off someone. If we just get rid of this, we can avoid this. But I can't tell you this because then it'll just make it happen. Because it's like, they say when you speak something into existence, it happens, right?
Right.
So he knows if he says it, that's it. It's done. It's going to happen. He's like, I'm going to give you guys this as a gift. Just could you please be smart and just use your brains? And the X-Men are like, well, we got an orgy going on a little bit later, and I've got a drink party at the Green Lagoon. I don't know. We'll think about this.
Oh, speaking of orgies, like Cable has nailed most of his mom's friends.
And not even that, his dad's ex-girlfriend's daughters / clones.
That too. Like, he nailed Psylocke. He nailed Domino, but everybody. But you know what?
Well, Domino, for the longest time, she wasn't like that. Then writers started writing her as kind of promiscuous. And you know what? Let her have her fun. Who cares?
I have no problem. Domino, you do you.
Yeah. But they did start basically having her as a pass around girl for a while there, though, because it was Cable, Wolverine, Colossus.
No, she is not a pass around. Okay, Wolverine is the pass around.
He is.
They pass him around
he's a living joke. Like, She-Hulk was, making fun of him, even like, I touch you, but you may heal, but I don't know what you got.
It's like, I don't have anything. I have a healing factor. Not what I heard.
Outlaw told me she still burns.
Oh,
yeah, Wolverine has to be hands down. He's a bust down. Wolverine's a bust down.
Wolverine's a bust down.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Cable almost bagged Storm, and it just seemed like it was just a scheduling conflict.
Or technically he did because of Major X, if you read the Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, I remember that.
But they did try doing that in the 90s anyways, though. That was a big plot point.
Yeah, and people were making fun of it, like Joseph was asking Storm about it, and like Joseph, knowing that thinking that he was the age Magneto, was like, wait, you're telling me this, and this, and this, and this, this,
Yeah.
and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. It's like, what about? Oh, so is that everything? That part about Cable's sister.
Actually, you know what? I think the three biggest bust downs are Cyclops, Cable, and Wolverine.
No, Cyclops is hard to
Cyclops,
kill.
if you're a telepath.
Come on, man. Come on. He's taking down non-telepaths. Lee Forbes.
True, but it's catnip for him. He goes, "Oh, you can read my thoughts."
but also think of the women that actually still want him. You gotta remember, Betsy, she just left that bone alone. Maria Hill.
Yeah.
That one space pirate princess who hates his guts because he got her dad arrested. The Cyclops.
Actually, you know what? Let me reverse that. Cyclops is not the bust down; it's his daddy.
There you go. Yeah,
Corsair he's just out there spreading the Summers family gene. You might find a Groot Cyclops at some point.
It's like Archer that way. Like I'm pretty sure there's some levels in the Star Jam where they were like, "Nah, we ain't going there. That's Chris's play."
Hepzibah's like, hey, I'm a skunk lady. We just, it's natural for us. You want to go soil your roots? Go ahead. I'll be over here. I'll do the same thing. Warpath, where are you at?
Oh, that's you know what? And Warpath is really loyal to that family, so
he is, and him and Hepzibah had their thing going on, and Warpath is another one he's a sneaky one because he had Domino, Hepzibah, and a few others. You never know what he's up to. He's the quiet one. He
never got Siren though. I was like, damn, he never got Siren, but he got better. He got Risk.
My man Deadpool got Siren, which is I still don't understand how that happened. But good for Deadpool, though. When you look like Roadkill, it's nice that someone is able to be like, okay.
All that work. He helped her through her drinking problem.
And then he got one from her, and then he calmed down a bit. Going, you know what? Okay, I've been around her too much.
No. He could have given her. She could have given him a little bit of bliss.
He did. I mean, he was basically like that. That friend that always gets overlooked. He's with her at the toilet, holding her hair up. Okay, Siren. Okay.
Yeah, but Risk turned him out though.
Well, that's when he started wearing the rawhides, and he was wearing the skin tight stuff, and
he was just like, bro, I don't know if you're a bodybuilder or a porn star. Stop.
And Risk, God, she got done so dirty too. We find out she's dead off panel and parts for the human.
No. But hey, Domino gave her props. She was like the glorious Dolores Munoz. I'm like, thank you for that. Like,
what sucks is she gets that small screen of screen time for Sword, and they cut that book short when you have probably the most creative use of mutant powers. I mean, Peepers. Yep. You put Peepers, Fabian Cortez, Manifold, all those mutants to get Blink, Vanisher, what's his name? Amelia Voigt. You put all of them together as a group, and we couldn't get just a few more issues or at least a follow-up series going back to it. I mean, WizKid, Jesus Christ, WizKid.
No, okay, here's the thing. Sword started out strong. It's just Al Ewing loves Space Marvel so much. He wanted to include, and I don't understand why Sword had to become X-Men Red. Sword could still be going on right now. They could
it should have been Sword and X-Men Red should have been brother and sister titles.
Yeah. Like stuff like it should Mysterio, like Sword and X-Men Red should have been Uncanny X-Men and X-Men. So one affects the other. Like we should have figured out what the hell is Mysterio, because it looked like it was like they had a bunch of it, but we don't know where it came from.
No, we do. The White Hot Room. It came from the White Hot Room. But how did you get to the White Hot Room without one of the Phoenixes?
Exactly.
That's a plot point that just got dropped, and I thought they completely forgot about it. But then it's been brought up in Cosmic Ghost Rider. It's been brought up again in Guardians of the Galaxy, the newest volume. Thank God, because that was not written by Ewing. But someone actually remembered going, hey, Mysterium, it's one of the most elusive and hard to get medals. The X-Men should be one of them. Like, we need a Starjammer series, because there should be they should be hiring what's his name, Corsair and his crew to help protect the runways and everything else. Just like we had the Marauders.
Yeah.
The Starjammer should be like the same type of thing.
Oh my, that'd be so, yeah. Oh, yeah, yes. But here's,
because it's what you need to transport from point A to point B. Throw in some of the cosmic characters. I mean, think about it. We had Darwin was on that team before. We had Rachel, Havoc, Cyclops,
yep,
Captain Marvel when she was binary.
True.
I mean, they should be like the Marauders of space.
Yeah.
You go and point, because we know that a bunch of Iraqi left the planets. So all those Iraqi left Arachno.
Yeah, see, they're not thinking about that. See, here's the thing. They want Krakoa to fall. They want this. They want to go back to the school. Like, they want to they want to do what they after post M Day want to make it where there's like 200 mutants and most of them are X-Men. And
don't give me a PTSD again. I'm gonna have panic attack. My blood. I'm gonna have to take my hypertension pills again. Like, no, I can't handle that no more.
That was a scary time. And then you got people like Jordan White saying, "Oh, I don't understand why it was so important to be a mutant anyway." Like, wow.
Well, what's even worse is what they think of what a minority should be is what they're putting on paper. So what they think should be is downtrodden, a boot on their neck, and being run over by cops and being killed nonstop, right? Like, that is like the worst. Like, that is not the only way to tell a minority story, but their idea is, let's murder them all and show them being, killed and just demolished, and everything is in ruins all the time. That's a really messed up way to think.
Yeah, absolutely. Whereas, like, in the 2000s, that was a scary time. In the 2010s, I would consider that like the Black Lives era, the Black Lives.
It's also kind of like the lost timeline, though, because it's just they okay, we're going to be heroes again. That no one cared about that. X-Men fans, they think that they can get I don't know, maybe they think they can get Justice League fans and Avengers fans and Fantastic Four fans if they do that. No, you know what X-Men fans are? It's for the outsiders. It's for the queers. It's for the minorities. It's for people that have always, if you have ever felt like people didn't care about you or didn't respect you or just you were ignored or downtrodden, that's who the X-Men are to fandoms. Because it's not just for you can be like myself, you can be Irish and still feel different things. My family, my mom is first generation American. They escaped the famine from Ireland where they weren't allowed to eat food because the Irish or the English were taking it away from them. Right. All of us have these different historical background markers. It doesn't matter what your ethnicity is or where in the world you came from. All of us have a unified trait where it's like something horrible happened to us and you can relate to that. And the X-Men, it's just like they over bombard it and you're going, can we just get a win for more than 3 years? We need it for more than 3 years. Like, this is just ridiculous because the 80s, there was a lot of bad things that happened. That was a decade of winning. The 90s, it was like, it was up and down, ebbs and flows. And then the late 90s.
It really, no, yeah, it really was. Wasn't it? Like, I mean, Xavier got shot in Executioner's song. Magneto, he blacked out the world for for 2 weeks.
The High Evolutionary actually did an M Day before M Day where he got rid of all the mutants' powers.
Thank you for remembering that. I thought I was tripping.
And Sinister helped him out. It was Sinister and the High Evolutionary, but it was the High Evolutionary that did that. And that's why I still don't believe that they're listening to the High Evolutionary, that the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are not mutants. You're going to listen to him. He's been lying to you the whole fucking time. He's been lying to every character he's ever come across to.
That's what I'm saying. All right.
He's the Fantastic Four Sinister.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. First of all, the whole thing when Wanda said, "Oh, we're not your kids anymore," and then all of a sudden the High Evolutionary's like, "Hey, actually, I may have did something. You're not, Magneto's not really your dad." Like, no, High Evolutionary is a dick. He seriously, I always thought there should be a story where the High Evolutionary goes to war with Mr. Sinister. And actually
they have had little beefs here and there. More often than not, they compare notes. Because remember, during the Endangered Species story arc,
Yeah.
Beast went to Sinister and the High Evolutionary, and they were already working together.
True, yeah. But
how are you gonna believe him?
Yeah.
And then have you ever read the Quicksilver series in the 90s?
Yeah, in 1997. I remember that. That was really
Quicksilver had magnetic powers.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
No, I would love to see the correspondence between High Evolutionary and Sinister. Hey, you tin-coated bitch. How's everything with your beast? It's just the beat.
It'd be worse. So what families, kids are you messing with right now? Well, I'm still screwing with the Summers. What about you? Oh, the Maximoffs. The Maximoffs are still my fun one. Adam Warlock, he escaped my grasp. He's just too powerful now. I can't screw with Adam.
Right.
But Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, Scarlet Witch, she's a little bit unstable.
I can play with that.
Yeah,
no, I think the High Evolutionary would be like, hey, you're still playing with those kids, you weirdo.
No, even weirder thing about this though. What's his name? Cable is named Nathan. Cyclops' best friend was Nathan, who was actually Mr. Sinister in the orphanage.
Yeah.
He's still named Cable after, I know it's named after his grandfather or whatever.
Yeah.
He basically named his kid after Sinister. And Sinister is the one that got him the girl that got him his son.
Oh, God. It's weird that Sinister is technically Cyclops' father-in-law.
Yeah.
That's weird. And also,
the X-Men are the only group besides like a couple of the Avengers, because some Avengers do have like a really screwed up like timeline, but basically the ones that do are also mutants too, although they're not mutants now, but come on. But yeah, no, it's Days of Our Lives, or no, actually, no, I can't even say Days of Our Lives. It's Passions. Do you remember Passions?
Yes.
Where they had the witches and they had the monkey and everything else.
Yeah.
That's what the X-Men are. It's Passions, because it's the most craziest thing you could possibly think of. And it's, it's always about sex and always about all this other stuff, and everyone's just upset. You don't know what's going on. X-Men is Passions. They're not Days of Our Lives. It's Passions.
Yeah, hey, I'm with it. That we said it here. I think we got the tagline. X-Men is Passions.
I mean, it makes so much sense. Look at even if just like the hookup lines, you start going from who hooked up with who and who is did not, and X, Y, and Z. Because even Pixie was with Cable at one point too. Team Cable.
Yeah, Cable. But here's the thing, though. I think most of that was because, he got the privilege because who his dad was.
Yeah, but I mean, think those people, like the girls. It's not like they're young, but they're not that young. They know damn well that's going to be the old guy that you used to hate, and you're going, well, as a kid,
he's kind of cute.
Yeah, I know you're going to grow up to be someone else, but maybe if I do hook up with you, you'll be a little bit nice to me here in the future.
He's like, no.
I mean, Passions is the best way to describe it, because it was that show was all about sex. I mean, it really was. And the X-Men, one of the reasons why people love it so much, yeah, it's got all the crazy storylines, all the action, but it's really about who's fucking who.
Oh, God. Okay. There's so much we can go. You really can't go like who slept with who did I mean, I feel bad for Beast, but with his love life, because his girlfriend just sold him out a couple of times. And
yes, and also she was in this 3-run issue too. Trish Tilby was at the very end of it, asking people questions at the end. Yeah, I thought that was so fitting. I'm going, are you kidding me? I didn't realize she was around that long ago. I always felt like she was more like early 90s, before Age of X. And then wait, she was in the 80s? Goes that far back to the beginning of X Factor? Geez.
She was a Butters from South Park. She was in the background, didn't she? Yeah. Brought her to the forefronts.
And she got, and just like Butters, she got a couple of big moments.
Yep.
And then she kind of just fades away. And then every so often she pops up to remind you, hey, it's like Peter Cobo from NASA. Yeah. He pops up every so often. You're going, oh yeah, you were a big deal. Dark Phoenix Saga.
I have not seen that dude in years.
Well, the reason I brought him up is because I was just reading the Operation Galactic Storm, and Quasar and them save him while he's on, again, another space mission where the Shi'ar are involved, and the sun's exploding, and he gets caught in the Shi'ar bullshit. If I was him, I'd be I wouldn't be anti-mutant or anti-human. I'd be I'm killing those space birds.
Yeah.
Those space birds keep screwing with me.
Like, yeah, that's another thing. I'm really, like, because with the Shi'ar, they're kind of like the scrolls. They think everything is theirs, and whatever's they don't
Yeah.
know about is theirs too. I'm like, that is some Debo from Friday mentality. They just come up, steal your stuff, and then just tell you, like, it's mine.
When I was just reading the Operation Galactic Storm, they go, well, what from what information the X-Men would allow us to know?
Yeah.
And that made me laugh so hard. Go, well, the X-Men know them very well, but they only told us a little bit, and this is what we know from that little bit of information. It's like, yeah, by the way, Charles has a daughter with Landra, and Bishop. I'm still hoping that Aaliyah from the X-Men: The End.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Bishop and Deathbird's daughter actually is in a 616, because eventually they're going to be screwing the Shi'ar so much that the Shi'ar are going to be mutants, just because they're just going to be like, we're at an evolutionary dead end.
Royal family. At least the royal.
I mean, you've got the Summers clan, the Xaviers, Bishop. I mean, they get around. Sunspot wants to get with Deathbird. I mean, they're all trying to get in there.
Hey, let's not forget Slipstream and Lifeguard. They're
Slipstream, exactly. Like, and then you have the Ken who had Adam X.
Yep. No,
you have all these different half breeds.
But here,
I mean, they're all just there.
To the Shi'ar Empire, the royal family, like they must have conspiracy theories, like, oh, they're all secretly humans. You know how, like, they say the royal family, like, secretly reptiles. They're like, oh no, they're all human. It's gross. It's gross.
They're all into the human. They're all into humans. They're just, it's like, yeah, I can't stand you Terrans, but like, you are looking kind of good, because, like, I was reading again, Operation Galactic Storm. Deathbird is like trying to resuscitate Captain America, and she's going, I could keep him as a pet. He'd make a good mate. She literally says that in the issue, going, I could bring him back. He could be, basically she wants to keep him as property, but also make a good husband. Right. I mean, it's one of the reasons she liked Bishop so much. She likes those leaders that are in charge, and just, they'll do any, like Bishop, like, I'm just gonna destroy everything. Screw it. We'll figure this out later. She's like, that's how I think. I'm just gonna go bust through that wall. We'll see what happens.
No, but remember how she got Bishop when everything was going on? She was like, oh God, we're running into a huge store. Chloroform.
No, she's Kathy Bates from Misery. She's Kathy Bates from Misery. She had him hooked up to a bed saying, no, you're too injured. You're too injured. You can't get out of here. You got to stay there. Don't worry, Bishop, baby. I love you, baby. Don't worry, Bishop. I'm going to take real good care of you.
And he was like, you know what? She must be like, she must be thinking I'm stupid as fuck, because I know I can still move.
And remember, they are bird people, so who's to say she didn't lay an egg?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Oh yeah. I absolutely believe that. Like, that's a whole.
I'm waiting for Aaliyah. I'm hoping Aaliyah pops up from the X-Men: The End, because I thought she was such a cool kid. I liked her a lot.
I like Aaliyah too, but I'm waiting for Nocturne, because I feel like Nocturne could have, like, really saved, like, we could have avoided M-Day if Nocturne was in that situation.
If Scarlet Witch had met her.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you and Kurt, you both love the circus.
You're both. I mean, oh wait, they're both Romani. We can't say
Romani, yes, but they both grew up in the circus, though.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, and like
they both really did. Kurt was a performer. She was with her family. She was just traveling all over Europe. But that's why when they made TJ, it made so much sense, because you're going, well, wait, they have a lot in common, like much more than she has in common with the Vision and Simon.
I'm all right. Honestly, I don't understand the whole thing with Vision. Like, how can Speed and Wiccan be the children of Vision and the Scarlet Witch, when essentially that'd be like having a child with your refrigerator? You can't.
Or your toaster. Yeah. No,
toaster. It's great. Like, first of all,
basically her probability altering abilities caused her to get pregnant, but then you had Master Pandemonium saying, well, actually, those are demons from Limbo that I made you think were your children. And then we found out, well, actually, he was just like, it's always,
they're all
always
lying
the mutants. That's why Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver have to be mutants again, because other Avengers don't have these issues. They do. That's a mutant type of thing. The mutants always have, well, you thought you knew your family, but turns out you got something to tell you. It's like Maury Povich, it's just like, You thought you were the father, but no, this test here says you were hallucinating.
He's like, Destiny, you thought you were the mother? No, it was Mystique. no, I mean, like, jeez. No, you see, and that's something about Chris Claremont I just didn't understand. Like the whole thing, like when he wanted to make Destiny and Mystique the parents of Nightcrawler, but that wouldn't have made any kind of sense because Destiny wasn't there. Like she wasn't there when Mystique gave birth, and like as far as I know, Destiny's not a dude.
Well, no, because Mystique is a shapeshifter, so the whole thing was she can have male organs and female organs, so she can be a mother and a father. That part made sense to me, but the timelines of where they were at from where, Kurt, how old he's supposed to be, it never really aligned. But I did think that was a really cool idea because that would have been such a like a wait, what?
No,
mommies?
Here's how I thought of it. Mystique is the mother and Azazel is the father. The reason why I say, like, yeah, she can create male and female body parts, but we got to remember something. Her name is literally disguise. Like, and she's always said she can't take up physical attributes of the people that she take. It's just like us wearing a shirt. Like, it may look like our chest, but it's not our chest. It's a cover. So that's why when people say like, oh, she can produce sperm, like, no, she can't. She's a woman. Like, no, and not a trans woman, just like she's a regular woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
well,
that's why
but they've also done things where she could only become someone that she's seen or something, like it had to be like a real person, right? But then in X Factor for a while, she was doing like it was like she was watching anime because she was doing like dragon wings and tentacles or I shouldn't say even anime. She was watching hentai. She was watching hentai and started turning into creatures from hentai. And we're just going,
wow. Okay. She was wilding under her back.
Well, Mystique is always wild, like she
like, yeah, she really was watching hentai.
I wouldn't put it past her. I mean, she's been around for what, at least 200, at bare minimum 200 years. Yeah. Because they have the stories of her and Wolverine in the old Wild Wild West. Yeah. And they've got other stories. I think it was a Wild Wild West, but it was in Missouri because it was written by Jason Aaron.
Oh, also, here's another thing about Destiny and Mystique. When Mystique when Kurt was born, Mystique was already old. So menopause. Nobody talks about that.
Well, I think for her it doesn't count. I think because of shape-shifting, it's constantly I always think that every shapeshifter has like a very at least bare minimum some form of regeneration.
Okay.
Because think about it, if you're changing from shape to form, injuries really shouldn't be that bad for you because I would just keep shifting and changing until like, okay, now that whatever, like if I'm stabbed or whatever, now it's healed, right? Like that's why I liked in the movies where Wolverine stabs Mystique, and then she still has the scars, later on and for X-Men 2, where she's pointing at it and she's like, now she's got a thing for Wolverine because he left a scar and no one else did.
Yeah, you know what? I get, but in the books we've seen like Mystique, like if she gets hurt or something, she can change, and like it'll look like she's she's okay, but like she'll always
still be bleeding.
Like she's still kind of still kind of bleeding, kind of like with a hump. Like we even seen that in other media, like in Days of Future Past, where like she was
the Paris when they were in Paris, where she got hit by Magneto. We got shot by Magneto, excuse me.
Right. Yeah, so like I like the creativity. I think eventually, Mystique's Omega, she would be able to change into like fully change, but she's not there yet. And like, how can you?
Well, also they've said with Krakoa, with all the resurrections, like they keep getting a little bit more durable and stronger, and they basically, the more they keep resurrecting, the more they're like Apocalypse's version and ideal for mutant society.
Right.
Where it's just like, yeah, you died, but so what? He's like, in his head, like, I die all the time. I've died like 13 times. What's the big, Apocalypse, if you think about it, what's the big deal? You died, so what? You'll come back. Like, that's got to be probably like all mutants' secondary mutation that they just don't know yet is because you are a mutant, you have, you know, it's kind of like we're gonna go back to Doctor Who again, but maybe it is like Doctor Who, or maybe you get like 13 resurrections because that's how it was supposed to be originally. Now they're kind of changing that, but maybe it is like that, where part of their mutations is you just keep coming back, and when you come back, you're more durable, you're stronger, your powers are better. Like your first life you're learning. Second life, you're getting a little bit better. Third life, you're a little bit more experienced, because Apocalypse has had various changes throughout the times.
That's a brilliant that's a brilliant theory. Like, because we haven't, well, aside from X-Force, nobody's really died that much.
Yeah.
Like, see, now I want to go back and like start counting. Like, okay, how many times has everybody died? How many times has Cyclops died? How many times has Jean died?
Magneto seems to get better every time that he's died and come back. He's been more powerful the second time you see him after one of his deaths, right? Like, you know, like they explain it off, but he's been more powerful every single time he dies. And they've already said that in the current books, that each time they do have a resurrection, the person does come back stronger than they were before.
That's true. And like, we look at Nightcrawler. Now he doesn't have that I can't see, I need to see where I'm going now. He can just teleport anywhere in the planet. He can teleport. Or
he's attuned to the magnetic sphere of the planet, knowing where he should align himself with and where he shouldn't.
Right. And that's crazy to me. It's like,
and think about the Iraqi too. Like, you have the White Sword.
Oh,
you know, look at John Ironfire.
Okay. All right, John Ironfire and the White Sword. Do you think they were a couple? Because, like, God damn it.
Like, possibly, I don't know, because we don't know enough about both of them yet. Like, Sins of Sinister at least set the seeds to understand John Ironfire better than we have with the White Sword. The White Sword, he's basically like an enigma.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you find out that he can free you from that. Like, I wish Gorgon would have died by him and stayed dead by him, instead of, like, you know, being resurrected all messed up, because then he could have just been like, all right, boom, plant that sword in the ground. I release you from your service to me. Go let the others know. Like, and think about how many times those warriors die and come back, die and come back, die and come back. Because it's nonstop as long as he's got his sword, he's still alive.
He's an Omega Cipher. He's Doug Ramsey's Omega. No. Elixir. Why the healer?
Okay.
The healer.
I'm like,
no. Sorry, I'm sorry. Josh and Doug look alike. It's just
like, well, it's the blonde hair, and they're both. Neither one of them are physically intimidating. Although Elixir would scare the crap out of me, because you don't know. Are you going to heal me, or are you going to give me the pox?
You know what? I'm pretty sure he's really good at parties. Like, he'd be like, okay, you're gonna be high off marijuana, cocaine.
Or hold on, you've had a little bit too much to drink. Let me touch you real quick. All right, now you're talking coherently again. You know, you were getting a little too emotional back there. I need you to calm down. That was just the you know, the 50-year-old ale that we, you know, tempo brewed for you. Let's get you back down to normal again. Hold on, let me heal you real quick. Dude. No, but he is terrifying, because remember when he was killing all those the Dark Riders?
Oh,
killing them, bringing them back, killing them, bringing them back. That's the White Sword. You know, kill you, bring it back. But all of his soldiers do, when they do come back each time, they come back stronger.
And they're loyal.
And I think that's part of the mutant. I think it's part of the mutant experience, because it's always been a running joke with the mutants going, you know, yeah, they die, but we'll get better. They've been saying that since the 80s.
Goddamn Claremont. He's the one who did that. And I hate how he always said, like, oh, Jean died a bunch of times. Like, no, stop it. She
really didn't. She died like twice.
Oh, well, yeah, the Fiend. Yeah. She only died twice. You can't really say a bunch of times. You're being it. I see what you're doing, Claremont. You're being an asshole, and I don't like it.
Yeah, because you're thinking about it like the first time, and then she was in a cocoon, but it wasn't really, you know, that I'm just gonna move past that. Like, okay, fine, you weren't, I don't know, I don't care.
Yeah.
But then with the Hellfire Club, when Bishop debuts, and same thing with Trevor Fitzroy, technically she doesn't die, she just puts her body into a coma-like trance, so that way it appears that she's dead, so they can heal her while she's in Emma's body, right? So she's still functioning coherently. It wasn't until Grant Morrison did that dickhead move where he turned fucking Magneto into Adolf Hitler, where he's putting people in ovens in Manhattan. I still did that. I love Grant Morrison. Did not enjoy how he ended that run.
I hated how he did Zorn because when Zorn
yeah.
first came in, it looked like Cyclops was gonna get a buddy. It looked like they were about to be road dogs. Because remember it with the Shi'ar and they went to attack the mansion and Cyclops and Zorn got out. They're like, so this is just a regular day? Yeah. Other days we play baseball.
Open up your helmet, open up your visor.
Like jump.
No, even the worst though, I believe he was the first Asian X-Man.
Sunfire.
Oh, Sunfire, that's right. But he lasted longer than Sunfire on a team though.
Well, I think my thumb lasted longer than Sunfire.
Even for Uncanny Avengers, like they bring him in, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna push you out. Like
he's Eric Cartman saying, "Screw you guys, killing him."
He really is, because he's always angry. He's like, you know what? I don't like this mutant shit. I'm going back to Japan. I'm taking my stuff and I'm going back to Japan. You guys don't make any fucking sense.
Like he always go like, you know what? If that Captain America says one more thing to me about Hiroshima, I swear on everything I love, I'll slap the shit out of him. Like he becomes like a rapper in a New York rapper in 2006. Like I will slap the shit. God, he was.
Oh shit.
Oh God. Okay. All right. Yeah, this was fun. This. All right.
Yeah, so, I enjoyed this.
Uncanny X-Men 232, 234,
233, and 234. The Brood return.
The Brood return. 232, 233, 234. Okay. I'm giving this like a 4 out of 5 stars. I love it. Like I like Mark Silvestri, but I like Claremont. I have theories of that Claremont, so that's it. All right, but Monarch Daffy. I'm 1407 Grey Malkin Lane. We'll see you soon.
That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.